The TVS Ntorq, that's the brand that redefined sporty scooters in India. And we have had the Ntorq 125 for about 8 years now. And after a long wait, we have a much more powerful Ntorq, the Ntorq 150. And in this video, we're going to tell you everything that you need to know about this new scooter from TVS. Now, firstly, let's start with the design of this scooter. And I'm very happy to report that TVS has done a very good job in redesigning the Ntorq 150 and not keeping the design language similar to the 125. What it does is it gives the 150 a distinct look and a distinct character of its own. And if you look at the front, starting with the handlebar itself, you get a naked handlebar. There is no cowl here. You directly have the number plate. And you move down to the apron, you have a quad projector LED setup with this owl-like looking design. It looks like a transformer with 4 eyes. Let us know, what do you think of that? And these projector LEDs, the outer two, they act as your low beam. The inner two will act as your high beam, and you will also see what they look like when they are illuminated. Now, if you look at this apron design, this is what TVS calls the arrowhead design, and it's nice, chunky and sporty looking, which looks really nice in my opinion. It is flanked by these DRL lights, which also double up as turn indicators. You also get these fins right here at the side, and TVS tells us that these are not only for aesthetic purposes, they actually work and add to the performance of the scooter. On this side, you have this added shroud which has the 150 branding. Now, if you look at the colors here, this is the yellow and blue combo that you'll get. All the colors have a dual tone theme going for them. On this particular color, you will get neon yellow wheels. These are 12-inch wheels, 100 by 80 section tire for the front. And coming to this side, you will see that there is a disc brake with ABS. So you get a single channel ABS on the scooter, and that adds to the safety. Coming to the side, right here, you have a flat floorboard, and it has a lot of space here to store your backpack and your bags. You also have this hook right here to hang your grocery shopping. And here you have this carbon fiber like design, which looks really nice as well. The footrest for the pillion, nicely retractable, quite strong, and it has a very satisfying click. You also have this fan which is exposed, and when the engine is running, you can see it spinning. The exhaust, this is what it looks like. It's a nice stubby exhaust, and it does retain that sweet Ntorq exhaust note. Let me show you what it sounds like. So this is what it sounds like on idle, and when you give it the gas, this is what it sounds like. And if you look at this side also, you will see like there's a dual tone theme going on. You have this textured finish right here, so that is something new for the 150. And of course, you have the Ntorq branding right here. Coming to the seat, you have a nice long seat. The seat is a little longer, not by much, but it is a little longer than the 125. The cushioning and all is pretty decent, and till here you have the rider seat, and from here you have the pillion seat. And while we are at the seat, let's take a look at the boot as well. You have a 22-liter boot. It will fit a medium size full helmet or any size of a half face helmet very easily. And right here you have a USB charging port, and as you can see, it says do not charge when the engine is running, so you need to charge your phone only when the engine is running. Other than that, there is no illumination or any kind of light here, so it misses out on illumination. Right here you have the grab handle for the pillion. Also, you have the fuel filler lid, and which means that you don't have to get off the scooter to whenever you are at the gas station for refueling. Coming to the tail lamps, you have a completely redesigned tail lamp, and I like how this design looks. Also, the turn indicators, they are LED, and they have this arrow-like design going in for them. The rear wheel, 12-inch, 110 by 80 section, and you get this traction control ring right here. No disc brakes, you get drum brakes, but you do get traction control on the rear wheel. and you have a mono suspension at the rear, and I like this red color treatment, gives it a more sporty look. Now let's move on to the handlebar. As I told you, it is a naked handlebar, and on this side of the handlebar you will have the ignition controls, and on this side you have this new addition of the navigation buttons. Now mind you, this comes only with the higher variant, which comes with the TFT screen. There's another variant which comes without the TFT screen but gets a hybrid display like you get on the Ntorq 125. Now that scooter will not have these buttons. So you have the navigation buttons, and you also have this hazard lamp. And here you have the headlamp controls. Here you have the turn indicator controls, and then you have the horn which sounds like this. And if you look at the brake levers, you will also see that there is an adjustment ring now. So you can adjust the brake levers as per your convenience. And you also have this brake lock. So if you have the scooter parked somewhere on an incline, you can lock the brake and the scooter will keep the brake engaged as long as it's parked. When you want to release it, just press the brake and the brake lock releases itself. The same adjustment is here as well for the front brakes, but here you do not have the brake lock. The mirrors are nice and wide, and besides that, if you take a look at the front, right here you have the key which looks like this, typical of Ntorq, and then you have the ignition and your lock controls right here. On this here you have a cubby hole to keep your phone and other knickknacks, maybe a bottle of water. And if you look at this section right here, it's scooped out, so it gives you comfort for your legs. Now let me sit on the scooter and tell you what the ergonomics are like. Let me get it off the stand. And as you can see, both my feet are fully flat on the ground. My height for reference is 5'9", and my shoe size is 11. If you see, when I keep my foot here, I still have a lot of space even though I'm wearing such a big shoe. Smaller shoes, sandals, when you wear them, you're going to have much more space to move around. And if you're turning, the handle will not foul with your knees because there's a lot of gap between the knee and the handlebar itself. The seat itself is nice and the cushioning is pretty decent, and as you can see, this is what my natural riding position would be. There is still ample of space for a pillion behind, so the long seat does help if you are traveling to up on the scooter. Also, the handlebar is not very wide. It is a little towards the rider, and that gives you a kind of a sporty feeling. It is a little towards the rider, and still that does not affect how the scooter turns. The mirrors are nice and wide. You get a good view of what's coming from behind. Overall, the riding position is pretty good. When you're wearing a helmet, a full-size helmet, you have to look down a little bit. So the position of the TFT screen is a little lower. If it was somewhere right here, if it was a little higher, it would fall in my field of vision when I'm looking straight ahead. But right now I have to look down, especially when I'm wearing a full-faced helmet. Now let's take a look at the TFT display. Now this is a 5-inch TFT display, and as you can see, this has a black theme going on for it. You can change the themes and get the theme that you like, but I personally like this one because the background is black and all the lettering is in white or other colors, so it stands out very nicely. Right here you have the tachometer, you have a clock right here, you have these auto modes where the scooter goes into eco and power. It'll go into eco when you're riding below 4,000 RPM. When you push above 4,000, it will move into the power mode. Now because the scooter is off, it shows power. Other than that, you have two riding modes, the street, and in the street mode you have this readout. You have the top speed, trip distance, riding distance, and riding time. Other than that, you also have the speedometer right here. Now you can change the mode by pressing the button right here on the navigation control, and you can go into race mode, and this also turns on iGo Assist. Now iGo Assist was first seen in the Jupiter 110, and right here you'll see this small bar which fills up as the iGo charges itself. Now once it is full and you twist the throttle, you're going to get a small surge, a boost of power, which will help you go a little quicker than your normal scooter would. Also, the readout here will change from ride distance and ride time. You get lap distance and lap time. Other than that, the scooter will automatically record top speed and your trip distance as well. Here you have the fuel gauge and the engine temperature gauge as well. Now coming to the controls, this is the navigation button. So you can go into different controls of the screen. So you have the ride screen or the ride mode controls. So you can switch the modes from here as well. Then you have the trip details to reset your trips. A vehicle control where you can control your traction control on and off, and also you can control your ISS, which is idle start stop, so you can put that off as well. Connectivity, your Bluetooth navigation controls. Then you have privacy where you can go into incognito mode. Then you have vehicle details right here, and you have the display setup where you can have custom widgets. You can control the display brightness, and you can control the themes also. So right now it's a dark theme. You can also set a light theme if that suits you, and in my opinion the dark theme looks much better. And you can also set it to auto, so depending on the time of the day it will switch the mode. So like in the daytime it will show you a white display, but in the night it will go into the dark mode. So those were the features and controls that you get with the new Ntorq. Right here you have all the telltale lights and warnings, and that is the 5-inch TFT display that you get on the top end variant. Let us know, what do you think of it? Now let's talk about riding the scooter. Now firstly, the riding position, it's very nice and very comfortable for me to ride the scooter. So we've been testing the scooter on this test track here, and as you can see there are some scooters that are going by, so that's where we have been able to ride the scooter. So we haven't ridden it in the city or the real world conditions. So this is going to be like a performance review, not a real world riding review of the scooter. So on the track when you're riding, you are able to tuck down, so you get a very good riding position where you can tuck down fully and actually push this scooter to its max performance. And on this short straight that we have here, I was able to pull off 97 kmph. A lighter rider would be able to pull off a little more than that. The top speed rated for the scooter is 104 kmph. Also, it can do 0 to 60 in just 6.3 seconds. We did not time it, but in my riding experience, when I did the test for a 0 to 60, it seems like it is close to 6.3, 6.5 seconds to hit that number. Now, talking about the performance figures itself, this scooter comes with a 149cc engine. It puts out 13.01 PS of power and 14.2 Newton meters of torque. Now that number might not be a lot, it's just 3 PS more than the Ntorq 125, and that does translate into how the scooter rides as well. It is not like a big performance upgrade package than the 125, but what changes here is the riding stance, the eagerness of the motor. It is much quicker than the Ntorq 125, and that's the major difference here. In terms of the top speed as well, the scooter, while you ride it, while you accelerate till 80, it will go very quickly, and then after 80 to 100, you really have to keep on the gas for a long time. It takes a lot of time for the scooter to go from 80 to touch that 100 kmph. I was only able to do 97, but with a longer straight I would have touched and crossed that 100 kmph mark as well. In terms of ergonomics, the scooter is very nice and flickable. So when you're riding in traffic, it's going to be very easy for you to maneuver the scooter around. It's not very heavy, it's light, and as you can see, it's going to be very flickable when you are riding in the traffic. If you want to go quickly, you can just move past the traffic like a breeze. Now it has two riding modes, street and race. In the street mode, the acceleration is a bit slower than the race mode. In the race mode, it really picks up speed quite quickly, and it gets you to that 0 to 60 far more quicker. Also, the iGo assist. Now, we've seen that on the TVS Jupiter before, but in the race mode, you get the iGo assist. Once the bar fills up, you can give an urgent push to the throttle and the scooter will dart forward. The boost is very minimal. I mean, you'll really have to pay attention to notice that boost, but it is there. So you do get that small power boost whenever the battery fills up and you want to make that urgent overtake. But when you're riding in the street mode, you do not get iGo assist. You do get the ISS, which is idle start stop, which is a very useful feature when you're riding in stop go traffic. Now, in terms of fuel efficiency, now, as I said, we were not able to test the scooter in real world conditions. We were riding on the track and we were just giving it the beans. So right now it will be unfair for me to give you a fuel efficiency number based on what we were riding. But in my opinion, you should get somewhere around 33 to 35 kmph of fuel efficiency in the city and highway riding conditions if you are not riding very hard. Now, another thing is the suspension. I really like how the suspension is tuned on this scooter. It is not very hard. Now, since we were riding on the track, we could not judge the suspension to its fullest, but from what I can tell, it is a bit softer than what you would see on the Aerox 155. So if you want to compare the suspension to that, this is a little softer and this is much more rider friendly than the Aerox. This is much more a city and a pothole friendly scooter. You will be able to glide upon those bad roads very smoothly. Now, for you guys who want to have fun, what I would do is put this into the race mode and just go give it the beans on a twisty track. On this track, there is one big curve that we were able to take and test how the scooter corners. It leans in very nicely. You can get out of the corner very fast, and also it is pretty stable even while the wheels are not very wide. You get a nice lean angle as well, and it is very confidence inspiring. It doesn't feel like you're going to fall off the scooter easily. So yes, you can go corner carving, you can take those trips to the ghats and still have fun, even though this is just a scooter. You have a disc brake at the front, you get ABS, and the bite is really nice. You also get panic braking alert for the travelers around you. So when you panic brake, the indicators go on, like the hazard light will come on at both the front and the rear, and it will flash for a few seconds, notifying the other riders on the road that you have braked in a panic situation. Now, in terms of colors, the Ntorq 150 gets 4 colorways. This one is the Nitro Yellow. Besides that, you also have a Stealth Silver, a Turbo Blue, and a Racing Red. So what happens in each colorway, the base and this top color will keep changing. Also, the color of the wheels are different on each of the colors. So let us know which one is your favorite in the comment section. The TVS Ntorq 150 gets 22 first-in segment features, and all those features are listed on your screen now. It also gets 5 best-in-segment features, which are again listed on your screen. Coming to the price of the scooter, the price as we were recording the video has not been announced, so we will put them down in the description box below. So that was the TVS Ntorq 150 for you. Let us know what you think of this scooter. In my opinion, this is for the new age buyers, someone who likes to have a fun scooter in their garage, and someone who is fresh out of college. You want a daily scooter for college, you want something that is powerful. Before you buy your first motorcycle, you buy a scooter that is powerful, and you know that it is much more easier to handle than a motorcycle. And also, if your parents are not allowing for you to buy a motorcycle, you can get a powerful 150cc scooter as well. And not even for the youngsters, even for the people who go to office, this is going to be a very fun machine to ride, especially on the weekends. In traffic also, it is a very nice and easy motorcycle to ride, but on the weekends it's going to be much more fun on the highways when you're cruising at about 80-90 kmph. Let us know what do you think of the design, the performance, and the new color scheme of this new Ntorq. I hope I was able to answer all your questions, and if you have any more, put them down in the comments below. Subscribe to Motoroids if you haven't already, and press that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload our next video. This is Vipul signing off. I will see you in the next one. Until then, rev hard, rev free, and ride safe.